Cytogenetics in acute leukemia is mandatory for genetic classification of acute leukemia as per WHO criteria. It has played a very pivotal role in the detection of recurrent chromosomal rearrangements. Recurrent chromosomal rearrangements in both adult and pediatric acute leukemia. Hence, it has contributed significantly in precise diagnosis, prognostic evaluation with risk stratification, also mandatory for treatment decision, disease management, and clinical trials. Now, conventional karyotyping is the gold standard technique which gives the global view of known as well as unknown aberrations of various chromosomal abnormalities, numerical abnormalities, losses, gains, various structural abnormalities. On the other hand, the FISH, which is a part of the molecular cytogenetics, able to detect the known suspected aberrations. For example, by using dual fusion probe, you can detect the chimeric fusion gene, whereas in case of single gene rearrangement, but with multiple partner genes, one can use the FISH break-apart probe to detect these various, to detect the gene rearrangement, whereas locus-specific probe able to detect the genomic deletion on the chromosome by using the locus-specific probe. You can also identify the translocation or fusion gene by RT-PCR using the allele-specific primers. You can also identify the multiple fusion genes in one reaction by using multiplex PCR. The cytogenetic abnormalities are present in almost more than 80% of childhood BCP ALL. Now, this table shows the prognostic variables of various recurrent cytogenetic abnormalities. For example, ETV6 RUNX1, which is a favorable marker, very common in pediatric BALL, whereas TCF3PBX1 is the intermediate. The TCF3 variant MLL translocation, BCR-ABL fusion, intrachromosomal amplification of chromosome 21, PH1 like ALL, and IGH translocation are associated with unfavorable prognosis. Now, apart from the recurrent chromosomal aberration, the ploidy analysis also play a very important role in the prognostic evaluation. For example, you can see over here in the table, hyperdiploidy is associated with the low risk, whereas hypodiploidy, near haploidy are high risk abnormalities. You can see over here the high hyperdiploid karyotype, which shows the common gain of chromosome 4, chromosome 10, chromosome 17, chromosome 21. In absence of conventional karyotyping analysis, you can analyze or you can check the gain of common chromosomal gain 4, 10, and 17 by using the FISH technology. This is the near haploid karyotype, shows the losses of various chromosomes with the retention of chromosome 14 and 21. Now, cryptic translocation 1222, which is common in pediatric BCP ALL, which can be easily detected by using the ETV6 RUNX1 fusion probe. And while analyzing this ETV6 RUNX1, if you come across ETV6 RUNX1 negative, but the amplification of RUNX1 multiple copies, which gives the indication of intrachromosomal amplification of chromosome 21, a very distinct, aggressive, inferior subgroup of BCP ALL. The recent studies have shown that it is also associated with the CRLF2 rearrangement. PH1 like ALL, PH1, the genomic expression profile of the PH1 like ALL almost similar to the PH positive ALL. The frequency is comparatively low in childhood ALL than in adult ALL. It shows common translocation and rearrangements of the tyrosine kinase, cytokine receptor genes, which are important in the B cell development and differentiation. Now, these are almost present in the 50% frequency, and this rearrangement leads to the JAK-STAT pathway stimulation, which further lead to the cytokine independent proliferation. Now, these genes which are involved in the gene rearrangement, they have multiple fusion partners, as you can see over here. JAK2, CRLF2, ABL1 have multiple fusion partners. However, more than detecting the partner fusion genes, it is important to detect the gene rearrangement and translocation of the genes, and which is very easily can be detected by using the FISH technique, because these positive cases with ABL1 translocation or JAK2 or CRLF2, which can be treated with the tyrosine kinase inhibitors like imatinib or JAK2 inhibitors. Now, we all know that IGH translocation is a subgroup of childhood BCP-ALL, and IL-3 IGH and c-MYC IGH, which are distinct entities in BCP-ALL. But apart from these two translocations, the EPOR IGH, EPOR is the erythropoietin receptor, and DUX4 is the homeobox4 gene. Both these IGH translocations have been recently detected in childhood BCP-ALL, and these for example, EPOR IGH, which show the overexpression of EPOR associated with the poor risk, whereas DUX4 IGH, which is associated with the intermediate risk. Apart from these two, the CRLF2 IGH rearrangement has also been detected in PH1-like ALL and also in Down syndrome ALL. The ultimate effect of this CRLF2 IGH is the overexpression of CRLF2, and it is associated with the intermediate risk. So very recently, the NGS studies has shown that there are two new translocations which have been identified. These are MEF2D translocation and ZNF384 translocation, which has the multiple fusion partner genes, and these are involved in the epigenetic regulation. These are, in fact, interfere in the histone deacetylation. The MF2D translocation is a poor risk, outcome is a poor outcome, whereas ZNF, the 384 translocation is associated with the intermediate prognosis. Now, apart from recurrent chromosomal aberration, the PH1-like ALL as well as PH-positive ALL, the microarray studies has shown the CDK2A, 2B, IKZF1, PAX5, EBI, and RB1. The co-occurring deletion of these leads to the high relapse rate and resistance to the chemotherapy. Now, coming to the AML. Now, AML, the genetic classification, in the genetic classification, the cytogenetic aberration, the recurrent cytogenetic aberration play a very important role. For example, you can see over here, the favorable group includes T821, inversion 16, and translocation 1517. Of course, 1517 is considered as a separate entity, whereas the unfavorable risk group of the AML includes BCR-ABL positive, MLL translocation, inversion 16, inversion 3, translocation 122, common in acute myelokaryoblastic leukemia, MDS-related aberration, and complex or monosomal karyotype, which are unfavorable risk group. Now in PML-RARA, APL, PML-RARA is the hallmark of the APL. But apart from the PML-RARA, 2% of the APL cases show RARA variant translocation. And these are the common RARA genes which are associated with the RARA, for example, NUMA, NPM1, BCOR, OBFC2A, which are sensitive to ATRA, whereas STAT5B and TLZF, which are resistant to ATRA. You can very well detect the RARA variant translocation by using break-apart probe with FISH, and further you can detect the partner gene loci by using the MetaPatch FISH. Coming to the MLL translocations, which are common in acute myeloid leukemia as well as acute lymphoblastic leukemia, till today there are more than 80 MLL translocations have been discovered. In routine cytogenetic diagnostic laboratory, to start with, to check whether it is a MLL positive or negative, you can make use of the FISH by using the break-apart probe. Once it is found MLL translocation positive, you can use the partner dual fusion probe to identify the partner gene, because this partner gene play a very important role for the identification of prognostic significance. For example, here, these are the common MLL translocation. You can see over here, 1119 MLL, MLL-T1 and 411 translocation are comparatively more common in BLL pediatric BLL, and barring 911 and 111, which are favorable MLL translocation, the rest of the MLL translocations, MLL-T1, 411, 1011, and 611, which are the unfavorable MLL translocations. AML with thrombocytosis, very aggressive disease. What is the chromosomal rearrangement? MECOM translocation is very common in these cases, which leads to the overexpression of the MECOM. MECOM is again the epigenetic regulator. The monosomy 7 is always associated in these cases as a secondary aberration. Now we have seen in AML, the MDS-related aberration as well as the complex karyotype, which show the common aberration of chromosome 5 and 7. And among these, the 5q deletion and 7q deletion are very common. Now this 5q deletion and 7q deletion loci, which harbor growth factor receptor, and tumor suppressor gene, the deletion which leads to the haploinsufficiency of these genes, and that contributes to the pathogenesis of AML. Complex or monosomal karyotype frequency is comparatively low in the pediatric AML. You can see over here, the monosomy 7 is very common in pediatric AML cases. It is associated with inferior survival. For example, you can see over here, this is the complex karyotype of 2-year-old pediatric AML, and you can see there are more than 10 structural and numerical aberrations in this patient. Coming to acute megakaryoblast leukemia, the translocation 122, which result RBM15 and MKL1 fusion, which is common in non-Down syndrome acute megakaryoblast leukemia, which is a very aggressive disease with high relapse rate. Now, recently, the NGS, RNA NGS has discovered 3 cryptic translocations. These are CBF A2T3, which is a nuclear co-repressor, MNX homeobox transcription factor, NUP98 nucleoporin. These cryptic translocations, which have been discovered by the NGS, are associated with poor prognosis. You can see over here, and these translocations have again the multiple fusion partner gene. The common partner gene in case of CBF A2T3 is the GLIS2, which at the karyotype level gives the false impression of inversion 16, that is CBF beta rearrangement. One has to be very careful while detecting the difference between the common CBF beta rearrangement inversion 16 and CBF A2T3 GLIS2 inversion 16. This is common in the non-Down syndrome acute megakaryoblast leukemia. NUP98, which is common in non-Down syndrome AMKL as well as AML M4 and M5, the common partner gene is NSD1. Whereas MNX, which is the transcription factor gene, the common partner gene is ETB6. It is also frequent in non-Down syndrome MKL as well as FAB M0. Mixed phenotypic acute leukemia, which arise from the primitive multipotent stem cell, the common translocations are MLL, which are common in the pediatric age group of the MPL, whereas BCR-ABL is common in adult MPL. Down syndrome ALL associated with acute leukemia, the ALL is more common with higher relapse rates than AML, and these cases do not show almost nil frequency of ETB6, RUNX1, BCR-ABL, and MLL translocation. On the contrary, these cases show CRLF2 rearrangement. 25% of the cases show H14 translocation. So overall, all this information has given the message that cytogenetics in acute leukemia using karyotyping and molecular cytogenetics along with other molecular techniques has played a very important role in the identification of different prognostic groups in acute leukemia. It has also helped in the discovery of the various gene fusions, chimeric proteins, overexpression of proteins, and their role in the cellular pathways. Cytogenetics was and will remain gold standard testing for genetic classification, which will further improve the understanding in biology of the disease and identification of therapeutic targets. Thank you very much.